Welcome back, my viewers. Welcome back. Now, if you are here for the first time, this is a safe space for us to speak freely, to speak truthfully, to open up, to share, to teach each other, and to communicate without fear, and to help each other thrive as we are living out here in the diaspora as single African moms. Now, mental health and isolation is one thing that so many African moms, and not just African moms, but basically most moms are battling in the diaspora. When we talk about mental health, I'm not talking about you going mad and crazy and now you have to be put in a mental institution. But there are circumstances that would lead to that. Living in the diaspora alone brings a lot of complications that would lead to severe mental health. And one of the triggers of this problem is isolation. Most single African moms that are living in the diaspora do not have a community. There is no village. There are no friends or relatives, and therefore you find yourself most of the time you are isolated. Now you will be isolated with your children, and you will be operating like a robot, coming from work to the house, from the house to work. And if your children are school-going children, then it will be basically you dropping your kids to be picked up by the bus to school, and you go to work and then back to the house. So this level of isolation sometimes denies this diaspora and single African moms the opportunity to interact. And you end up basically spending a lot of time on your own, or just rotating around your responsibilities and your chores and the search for finances. So at some point you find that there are a lot of things that you're going through. There are a lot of emotional things that you're going through that you are actually just keeping within because you don't have somebody to talk to. You don't have someone to share them with, and including the burden of the work that you have of taking care of your children on your own. On top of that, the challenges of discrimination that you face while you are in these foreign countries. And sometimes it's also because you're not able to connect with people because you don't even have time to connect with anyone or to join any form of community in the areas where you stay. So this drifts and would drift very easily and very fast into a mental health problem. And so many moms have suffered this problem, not just postpartum mental problem that comes with after giving birth, the challenges that come with after having a baby and you don't have somebody to help you go through the process, and you're a new mom, maybe for the first time you're getting a child, or you have a young kid and you're still navigating your way around these foreign countries and you end up losing it all. So isolation is one of the triggers, and not being able to talk out, to speak, to share is another cause of mental health issues. So I would like us to look at how would we help each other, or how would you navigate this challenge so that you do not find yourself in a critical situation where you have to be separated from your children and you be taken into a mental institution, or maybe you have to be under medication, and you know what those medications do to people. Okay, you would not be able to function or to operate normally because there's something you're going through and you're trying to heal. So before we find ourselves in this kind of situations, or before we find ourselves breaking down completely and going through these mental health issues, what are some of the things that we can do? How can we navigate these challenges, and so try to protect ourselves from falling into a mental health problem? Now, one of the things that I would suggest that you need to consider, one is, do not be isolated. Do not stay in isolation. Do not lock yourself away from the rest. If there is a community, there is a church, there are charity organizations around, try to be part of those things. Okay, because you might not really relate with them at a personal level, but that interaction, daily interaction with people, or even once in a while when you're interacting with people outside of your house, gives you room to listen to and also talk to people. and it awakens something in you that is that would help you with your mental situation, or help offload the stress that you already have. So do not isolate yourself. Do not lock yourself away from communities. Do not move away from. I mean, I know it is not easy. I know it is not easy because the first thing that crosses your mind may be because you've tried really to join a community, but you have experienced a particular kind of treatment, or you've been discriminated with your children, or your child has been treated in a certain way that made you pull out. But that should not be the end of everything. Try to find another channel. Just avoid isolation, because with isolation then you're giving your brain an opportunity to start creating problems, even those that are not there. You already have a burden of being a single mom. You're already having a burden of taking care of your kids on your own. You have a burden, the financial burden of taking care of the bills on your own. So you must try to make sure that you're not locking yourself away from locking yourself in some kind of bubble where you're not able to think outside of your space, because this isolation is actually not intentional in most cases. It's because you're struggling to put everything and make everything work, and you end up being isolated because you're busy most of the time. You have no one to take care of the kids. And by the way, do not be afraid to walk around with your kids. I mean, those who have been in diaspora, you know what it means. It is not like in our African countries where you leave your kids behind and you go somewhere. No, in these countries, you bring your kids with you wherever place you're going. So at first, it will be difficult and it will be challenging. It happened to me too. I found it very tricky in the first few months when I moved to my first diaspora country, and I was really finding it very hard. Every single place that I have to go, even when I'm going to the shop, I have to bring the kids with me. If I'm going to buy food, I have to go with the kids. Every single place that I'm going, even when I'm going to the hospital for checkup, I have to bring my kids with me to the hospital, because there's no one to take care of them with you. There is nobody to babysit them. So you have to be with them all through. But in as much as this is a burden to you as a single mom, do not close yourself away from interactions. Move out, interact with people, talk to people, go to a church if you have to. If you can, okay, fellowship with people that you find in the church. Talk to people. You don't have to tell them your problems. Just have general conversations. It helps a lot, just as long as you avoid isolating yourself. Now, you might be very busy in the course of the week. Maybe the whole entire week you're busy and you're not able to go anywhere in the course of the week. But then in the weekends, just create a few hours in between. If maybe on Saturday you can take the kids to the park, and you'll find so many parents out there with their children in the park. You will be helping your children, because they will be able to play outside of the house, and you will also get people to interact with out there. So you basically just talk about normal things. You talk about how the kids are surviving, talk about the society, just talk about anything. If you the kind of person that doesn't want to talk about your problems, which anyway, it's okay. You don't need to be telling everybody what your problems are. No, so apart from avoiding isolation and making sure that you join communities, try to be in contact with your people back at home. Okay, try to, as much as you can, try to be in contact with your people back at home. Talk to them as often as you can. Create time to make calls, create time to talk to them, create time to tell them how you're doing. You are so far away from home already, and sometimes because of time difference, it is not easy for you to connect within a given particular time that is convenient for both of you. So just create a few hours in between the week. Just, you can decide that this particular day, from this hour to this hour, I'll be talking to my dad, or from this time to this time I'll be talking to my mom, or from this time to this time I'll be talking to my sister, and things like that. So by you connecting back with your relatives back at home, it also reminds you of the love they have for you. It will also remind you that people care about you, because they'll be asking about how you're doing. They'll be asking about how life is where you are, and things like that. I know that the idea of connecting back with your people back, with your relatives back at home, might also be a challenge, because like some of us know, sometimes when you really want to connect, you want somebody to listen to you, and you want somebody to help you go through what you are experiencing in the diaspora, and instead it comes off like they're basically just interested in the money that you're sending, or when you're sending them the next coin, which would make you really feel, again, isolated, neglected, and uncared for, because you will feel as if you're not important unless you're sending money. So if you notice such kind of things, then I would suggest avoid those conversations. Now, while you were in Africa, you had friends, okay? You had a few friends here and there. You might not have all your friends like you used to, but the ones that you will have kept, keep in touch. Talk to them where you can, have a conversation with them about life. And these are some of the things that would help you maneuver, go through your life in the diaspora. Now, if you intend to live in the diaspora for a very long time, you are planning to live there, to stay there for a long time, then it means you really need a community. You really need a community, because without a community, then you're going to be in isolation for a long time, and this will lead you to a mental breakdown. So it is important that when you know that you're going to be in a place for at least 2 to 3 years, then have a community where you can always fellowship, you can always interact, you can always share, you can always do things together. Join the charity organizations. You don't have to do much, just be part of them, okay? Orphanages and things like that, just be part of them, so that you don't really put yourself in isolation that would lead to a lot of other problems, mental problems, because you know you already have too much. As a single mom, you already have too much. And remember, your mental health is very important, because if you're mentally okay, then you're going to be mentally okay for your children. A mentally unstable mom is not a very welcoming mom to their children. You become very wild, and you become very hostile towards your own children. So it is important that you work on your mental health. But if you notice that you have done these things that I have just mentioned and none of them so far has helped you, then I would suggest you quickly go for checkup and find the best medical solution that can help you as soon as possible. In some cases, I have had friends who could not take it anymore, and actually they had to they had to go back home. I have a friend who got a new baby, and she could not. It got to a point, she really tried her best, but it got to a point that she could not take it any longer. And therefore, she decided, I'm going back home. And since she went back home, she's been doing very well. When she reunited with her family back home, she's doing fine. So the thing is, choose what works for you, but ensure that you do not let yourself fall completely, that you are not able to be helped. Do not let yourself go all the way that you're not able to reverse the situation. So I believe that when we work on our mental health, when we pay attention to what our body and our mind is telling us, then we will live a very healthy life, and we will be able to take care of our children as we struggle here and there to look for finances to manage our lives and to pay the bills. So as you are running everywhere here and there trying to fix the bill part and getting the money, do not forget about yourself, okay? Because you need to be okay, you need to be fine for you to continue making money, or for you to be able to continue taking care of your children. So I would suggest that, so far I know you're doing well, I know you're trying, I know you're giving your best, I know that I want to believe that you're doing the best that you can, but still pay attention to your mental health. It comes in a very slow way. Sometimes you just find you want to just sit there, you don't want to talk to anybody, you don't want to eat, you lose your appetite, you don't want to engage with anyone, not even your children, and you find that you're shouting a lot, or you're always screaming a lot at your kids. Those are signs. Those are signs that something is not okay, and you need to do something about it. You need to start stepping out. Now, walking outside of your house and breathing some bit of fresh air, go into a natural environment, interact with the natural and the natural wild environment. It does something to your mental state. Okay? It rejuvenates you, and it heals without us noticing how that happens. But the universe has a way of doing things. So I will suggest that you just step out there. Just step out there once in a while. You can take an evening walk with your children. You can go out on a Saturday to the park. You can go and fellowship on Sunday. Take go out afternoon for late lunch and things like that. Just step outside of the house, okay? Because this will help you a lot. you will be fresh and refreshed again for the next day when you're starting off your week. So I want to urge you and to encourage you, moms, that as you're struggling, as you're doing your best, as you're putting all your effort, do not forget to take care of your mental health. Do not forget to check on yourself. Do not forget to take care of yourself as you're busy taking care of your children. I wish you all the best, and I believe that as we progress, you will continue to do your best, and you will always be okay mentally to see your children grow. Now, if this information that I shared with you resonates with you, and you have been going through something like this, and you've not been able to figure out why you feel the way you feel, then please please share, because there is also another mom somewhere who is also experiencing what we are talking about, and they are not aware what is happening to them. So please share, comment. May I hear what you've been through? Share with us how you're tackling this situation, so that you're not falling into mental health problems. And even if you have, share with us how you managed or survived it, so that it can help some of us and help some of our friends and all the mothers out there that are trying to put the lives of their children and their lives together. So please like, share, and subscribe. And I look forward to meeting you again next time. Comment, share. Please share, subscribe. I will meet you again soon with another video. So I look forward to reading your comments, and thank you so much, and bye till next time.